At this stage, what we want to do is to import an artwork of a letter form that we've already drawn out by hand, and to place it in the Illustrator document and lock it in position so that we can basically create a vector like we see here, when I've sort of gone round and drawn these different anchor points to create our final letter. Okay, so in order to do that, we're going to start off by creating a new document. We're going to go to the menu, which is basically the options at the very top of the screen. So we're going to go on File, New. We're going to give it a title. I'm just going to call it Letterform 1. Just check that the size of the paper is set to A4, and then I'm going to click OK. So we have a blank document. Now to import an image, we are going to go on File on the menu and then Place. We're then going to click on the file that we want to place, which you should have saved on your computer, and you click, and that should sit in place. Now that has all worked out beautifully scale wise. If you need to resize, you're going to click on the box, and then really important is that you press Shift down on the keyboard while you drag that corner handle in. This is so your beautiful drawing does not distort. That is really crucial. Now this all went very smoothly. I'm going to try now importing an image that I know is the wrong scale and the wrong sort of orientation, just to show you how to handle that. So again, I'm going to go to the menu, File, Place, and then I'm going to click on that second file. So I'm going to click that to paste it in. You can see that is far too big. So what you can do, if you go down to this bottom left hand corner, there's a viewing percentage, 77% at the moment. I'm going to change that to about 12%, so we can see the whole of the image. I'm then going to find the bottom handle and press Shift and drag it in so it fits to the bottom of my page without distorting. Once you've done that, you can zoom back into your artwork. Now you can see that I need to rotate that image. There's a number of ways of doing this. We could go to our toolbar over here on the left hand side, and there's a rotate tool. So we could click on your image and go to the rotate tool, double click, and then we could simply just put the amount of degrees in there that we want to rotate it. Alternatively, we could go to Object on the menu, Transform, Rotate, and again put the amount of degrees in and click OK. To reposition that, I'm going to click on the Selection tool on the toolbar and just click and drag that into position on the page. If I need to rescale it, remember, bottom handle, hold Shift down and drag out to the desired scale. If we need to move the document, click on the document and just drag it into place. Okay, so let's say I'm happy with that. If I need to lock the document, I need to look at the layers. So like with Photoshop, the artwork is built up on layers. What we're going to do, we're going to go over to either the toolbar on the right hand side and click on Layers, or alternatively we could go to Window and Layers there. So what this shows us here, this is our artwork. I'm going to just double click on that label and just call it artwork. This eye icon is to hide different layers. So if I want to hide the image, or if I want to hide my vector, I can just do it simply there. And then next door to that is an empty box. If you click there, then that will actually lock your artwork, so it can't be moved, and that's what we want to do. Another option for later, if you feel that the image is too dark and as you're trying to draw around this, you might prefer it to be in a lighter grey. So you can do this by unlocking your layer, so we can still adjust it. We could click and drag to select those two boxes, or we can click one and then hold Shift down and click the other, so both are selected. And then we can go over to this transparency box on the toolbar on the right hand side. Again, we could also go to Window, and there's an option for transparency. And then I can take down the opacity by clicking on that dialog box and dragging the slider down just to make my artwork that little bit lighter. Okay, let's say I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to go back to my layer and lock that layer, ready to make a start on my vector drawing.